COVIDiots on the plane with you, so you had to suffer that, that personal risk to go, and so I appreciate that, and I've certainly seen posts from other people who've gone there as well, and but thank you for that, and still conducting this meeting, which I appreciate, and running for the ADEMS, which I appreciate as well. I'm Bill Honigman. I think I know everybody here. I'm the chapter leader for what I guess we could call a greater Orange County area. Jenna started and is now running the South Orange County chapter of PDA, Progressive Democrats America. And I used to live in South County myself, but moved up to more central Orange County. Now I live just east of Santa Ana, and hope that we get a thriving North Orange County area chapter. Rich Procida, who's on this call with us, is working on establishing a chapter in kind of North OC and East LA County area of PDA. But for those who are not familiar and perhaps a little new to Progressive Democrats America, we're close affiliates with Our Revolution and have been since Bernie established our Rev, or helped to establish our Rev after he ran the first time in 2016. And PDA, of course, encouraged Bernie to run both in 2016 and in 2020 in the Democratic primary, because we knew that he would then go on the debate stage with whoever was the corporate sponsored Democrat running in the primary. So so that was the genesis behind that, and how it is that that Jenna even stepped up as originally an Our Revolution organizer to add in PDA into her South County organizing. And I want to thank you as well for conducting this forum. I'm also the state coordinator for PDA, as well as the healthcare issue team coordinator nationally. But for California state coordinator, PDA, one of our missions is to work both inside and outside of the Democratic Party to bring about reform, because it's our particular belief that we already have one party that's wholly owned and operated by corporate America. That's the Republican Party. The Democratic Party has some of us in it, at least, who are representing or are trying to exist there within the established structure as representing the people. And that does not appear to be the case in the Republican Party. And there are some of us in the Democratic Party who are. And I appreciate that probably includes everybody in this room who's running for the ADEM, the Assembly District Assembly meeting positions. That is the most grassrootsy way to get into the state Democratic Party position. As Jenna mentioned, I am not running. I am was elected to serve a term on the newly forming county committee for Orange County, which means I will then get an appointment from the county committee to be on the state committee. So I do not need to run for ADEM. That leaves a seat open for someone else from my assembly district. I think there's at least one or two folks from my AD, the 68th Assembly District here in this room tonight. So this, I again applaud you for having a forum that allows everyone who is running for ADEM to go ahead and express why you are running, and you know what we're going to attempt to do here is to give everybody at least a couple of minutes to tell us all why you're running, why you think you should be the representative from your district, and we'll kind of lay out some ground rules for that. But first, I want to stress a couple of more things about PDA in particular. Number one is that we're a grassroots activist organization nationwide that exists based on your involvement with PDA. And that includes not just attending meetings, but also if you can help sustain us, we have what we call our Change Makes Change program. So if those of you who are already donors, besides being, attending our chapter meeting, if you can chip in a little bit to PDA even once a month, we do have needs, to run a national database, a website, and we have social media persons and other people to help run PDA. So I think we have a link for that we're going to drop into the chat. And then also, we need you, everybody here, to help us be the change. So change makes change, and we need you to be the change. We have what we call our monthly letter drop program, where we educate Congress. We go to members of Congress. So we started as a federal PAC. So we still do this. I don't know of any other national organization that does this. We're turning a monthly letter drop campaign or our Educate Congress campaign into a congressional district liaison campaign, where you can be the liaison, and even a delegation of folks can be the liaison to your member of Congress, and be the face then of the people in your district, to represent the interests of a group like us, like PDA. You don't have to follow everything that PDA suggests that you tell your member of Congress that month. Our letters are actually, we want you to amend them. So, add, subtract, delete, whatever you want to the letter. But have a look at that. We'll drop in the chat right now, even the link for that web page. Have a look at that if you're not familiar with the program, and even sign up for it. We very much appreciate if you could put that in there. That's called our Educate Congress campaign. So that's kind of the business of PDA that I wanted to bring forward. And then if there's anything I've left out, maybe some of the PDA regulars here could let me know at this point. Otherwise, we'll turn to the ADEM forum. That pretty much cover it? I think so. Okay, thanks. Sorry to be running on and on. For the ADEM forum, what I'd like to do is have everybody who is an ADEM candidate, if you could rename yourself. Hopefully that this setup for Zoom allows you to do that. You could rename yourself, putting your assembly district number next to your name. And I think Jenna, as the Zoom host, has done that. So if you want to put it, put that like Jenna has as a model there next to your name, be sure to put your AD number, put AD and your number there if you are a candidate, and that will assure that you have speaking time. And I think we have a total of 25 folks here in the room. And we'll see if we have, let's say 20 or more. That will probably mean about 2 or 3 minutes each. And if we have only, like, say 12 or 15, we can maybe go to 4 or 5 minutes each. And what I'm going to do is kind of take the prerogative of being the moderator and actually ask Jenna and Danette, who is co-hosting in the Zoom function, since they can't raise their hands, to actually go first in their speaking time. And all others, if you could raise your hand digitally by going to the Participants tab and then click Raise Hand, and that will put you in the queue for your speaking time as a candidate. And I appreciate that. And then just a couple of other kind of guidelines for your talk, if you would please. We want these talks to be about policy primarily, and not so much about process and personality. So you might have heard, a number of folks have aligned themselves with slates or have various endorsements, which is terrific. That's good. It's solidarity, but we want to know how you, as a candidate, will represent us, the people, and especially the people of your district. When a reporter, puts their microphone in your face, or their phone, I guess nowadays, and asks you for a comment on, one or another party position, a platform, or a resolution, how would you respond to that? So let's try and keep the discussion about policy and refrain from the other stuff, the slate and endorsement personality type stuff, if you would please. And that's kind of the only ground rule here. And otherwise, let's try and keep it positive, and also in the chat function, of course, very respectful as well. So given that, let's check now to see how many hands we have raised. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hands raised plus 2, the 2 host and co-host. That's 8. Oh, we got a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Looks like 12 so far, Dr. Bill.
Right. Was that another one? I think 13, right?
Looks like 13 right now.
Any more candidates?
Dr. Soniborn, are you going to be speaking?
Speaking time.
Greg? Because there are people who put numbers next to their names. Dean, Marge.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody can hear me. Something happened to my computer here. And I lost the full screen. Can you hear or see me at all?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to talk.
I just raised my hand. It took me a while to get to the right place.
So to raise your hand, you go to the participants tab.
Yeah, okay. I just can't get back to the full screen. Let me see.
And it was Dean Hanada. Dean, are you gonna have speaking time too? And Dave Soniborn, are you also speaking?
Whoops. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I just signed in the participants.
Okay, great. Thank you. So let's all let's keep it to 2 minutes, and if we have extra time afterwards, you'd like to add something afterwards, we can do that. Okay, because that's quite a few folks. So I will keep track of time, and so I'm going to take the prerogative of being the moderator to go with Jenna Beck first. To thank you once again, Jenna Beck, for setting up the meeting, and you get to get your speaking time out of the way first. So thank you very much, Jenna. Please tell us about your candidacy.
Okay, I'm going to time myself. I'm hitting timer. There we go.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Jenna Beck. I am the chapter leader for Our Revolution Southern California and PDA South OC. I have been volunteering for 4 years now, and I've worked on campaigns throughout Orange County, throughout the state, and throughout the country, knocking on doors, phone banking, and everything else. But I'm not just a super volunteer. I also show up to Central Committee. I've written resolutions, impactful, progressive resolutions addressing things like the forced sterilization of women in ICE custody, and the overreach of Trump's government DHS forces to create an illicit army that would kidnap protesters across the country. I'm interested in writing resolutions. I'm interested in helping to shape the direction of the party. I'm a progressive Democrat. I was a Bernie victory captain. I grew up in my district. I moved to Mission Viejo in 1980, where I have lived all but 3 years my entire life in this district. I went to school here. I was educated here. I raised my son here too. Most of you, I think, know me. I attend all of the local clubs. I'm very active and interested in the health of the party, but I'm also interested in reforming it and making it more progressive and more representative of who we are as a community. So thank you for this moment. I do want to keep it short. I am legit in Georgia right now, knocking on doors to flip the Senate. So please vote for me, and let's go. Thank you all for coming tonight, by the way. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Jenna. Appreciate that. Kept your remarks under 2 minutes, which very much appreciated by everybody. So next we'll go to Danette.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? Hopefully well. My name is Danette Abbott Wicker. I'm running in AD 68. I also ran for city council in Orange, so I've got a little bit of experience running. It's always different, but I'm very progressive. I ran on the platform of the Green New Deal in terms of community choice energy, which if you guys have been reading the news lately, a lot of cities are jumping on board with that. I think it's a really great idea. I'd like to see that take over the state, because I think that's the wave of the future. We have to get green. Also, I'm a big proponent of, I don't want to say defund the police, but I do want to say defund the police. We need to reimagine that whole industry. It's very broken. And we do not have, just for as an example, in Orange, 42% of the budget goes to the police department, which I feel is exorbitant, to not have social workers on staff to go out on these calls with the police department. A lot of the calls that go out on deal with people that are having mental issues or drug or alcohol issues. And more times than not, they can de-escalate those situations and prevent it from becoming violent. I also am a very big proponent of just pushing our agenda forward. We have to keep pushing and making sure that we hold people to task. And I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Danette. And next is Al. Al, are you there?
I'm here.
Great.
Hey guys. So yeah, I go by Al. I'm running in 8076 on the people slate. I really am sorry. My intent to run for ADEM is because I want to give the people in my slate, in my district, the voice within the Democratic Party, because as Bernie said, we need to work from the ground on up, not from the up on down, all that. And this is all like a cog. I believe the Democratic Party is more cog oriented, and we need to have progressives such as me and my slate being able to go in and really install fundamental change within the party. And hopefully I feel like if this is the right time, if not now, when. So I really hope I can assure the people of 76 that we are their voice, we are here for them, and we will listen to them every step of the way. This is not just us, not me, us.
Great. Well, thank you, Al. Also under 2 minutes. Appreciate it. Okay. Next up, Daniel.
I will do my best to keep it under 2 minutes as well. But for those of you that don't know me, my name is Daniel O'Donnell. I am the current vice president of the Democratic Club of Vista. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on myself for why I'm running. I think like most of us, I've been working on campaigns probably since I was 18, 19 years old. I've lived in San Diego about 10 years now. I moved here from Chicago. But the reason I'm running is I'm the youngest of 6 kids, right? So my parents did everything they could to afford all of us a better life, and they struggled to do so. They gave me an opportunity to go to college, to be a voice for individuals that don't have one. They gave me an opportunity to make a better life for myself. But I will tell you, even with all those opportunities, it is still a struggle, right? So I have $70,000 in student loans. I have a house that we just purchased that had my fiance not been saving since she was 17 years old. We would have never been able to afford. We have a population, not just here in Vista, but throughout the 76th Assembly District that is underserved, undervalued, and ignored. So the reason for my running is because I want to bring a voice back to those individuals. I don't believe in removing people from our party. I believe that we need to build bridges. If there are people more towards the center, we need to build coalitions to work together to not just progress the agenda that we have, but to progress our party agenda as well. So the main reason I'm running is to make sure that we can push progressive values so we can get free education. We can raise the minimum wage. I don't think $15 is enough. $15 is $32,000 a year. We should be fighting for $20 an hour. We should be fighting for so much more for people that they do not get. Healthcare is included, housing, education, all of those things. So if I'm elected as a candidate, I promise you I will fight for that with my slate, which is the people's slate. And I hope I can get your vote. So again, my name is Daniel O'Donnell, and I really do appreciate your time.
Thank you, Daniel. You did go under 2 minutes, but we appreciate that too.
Just barely.
You did it, man. Naz. Hello, Naz.
Hey, Dr. Bill. Hi, everyone. My name is Naz Hamid. Unlike all of the speakers so far, I am a first-generation immigrant. I celebrated my 18th birthday in Los Angeles, and I come from South Asia. So I've seen what crap looks like, and I don't want America to become that. And I think that moving towards the progressive ideals is going to help us not get there. So I'm very involved in my community, despite being a first-generation immigrant. I'm on the board of the Democrats of Greater Irvine. I serve the LGBTQ community on the board of the Orange County Equality Coalition. And 2 years ago, I helped found an organization called Asian Americans in Action, which actively engages the 21% Asian community voter base in Orange County. I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story, which is why you would understand why I lean progressive. My family is splintered across the globe. The lady who raised me, my mother figure, lived in Canada. And they took insanely good care of her up until the time that she passed. And that's because they have a public healthcare system. And that's what we need here. Every time there is a wildfire and my family has to evacuate our home because we're afraid of our homes burning down, that's why I'm behind the Green New Deal. So this is the story of my life. And I want to see that for every American over here. What my ideal goals would be is that I think I've already been involved in helping to elect candidates who lean progressive, and the ones who didn't lean progressive and had centrist policies, in talking to them and helping them understand why moving towards Medicare for all would save us money. So I'm definitely in this to elect and appoint more progressive people. I'm in this to be able to write more progressive resolutions and move us as far left as we possibly can go. So thanks again. I'm Naz Hamid, running in 8068.
Thank you, Naz. Just under the wire. Appreciate it so much. Tom, you're next up.
Thank you so much. I'm Tom Rossi from Assembly District 75. The reason I'm running, I've been a delegate now for 4 years. And the reason I originally ran is because I grew up in the 1950s and 60s. I watched the civil rights struggle unfold on my TV screen every night. And there are some things that you just know are right and some things you know are wrong. So I watched the fight for equality and the fight for equity unfold. That has guided my politics for the 70 years I've been on this earth. And so I became a delegate because what I've seen happen with the party over the years is that we've been defined by the other side. We have allowed them to control the debate and define who we are. The term I used 4 years ago is that we are not diet Republicans. Should be loud, we should be proud. We have values and we should be enunciating those values as loudly as we can. I want to bring the party back to that point where we stand for people over profits, where we stand for communities over corporations. Medicare came into being when I was 14 years old. Now we need to expand that to everybody. We need to take serious action on climate. We need to make sure that the needs of the citizens come before the needs of anybody else. All those other people benefit when the citizens benefit. And we have allowed the debate to take us in an entirely different direction. Secondarily, I'm also a retired veteran. I served 27 years in the military. And I am trying to give a greater voice to progressive veterans within the state party. I've been active with the State Veterans Caucus and also the San Diego Veteran Democratic Club. I'm on the board of both of those things, in addition to being on the board of the San Marcos Democratic Club. I essentially want to bring us back to those values that made us great, that changed the world in the 50s and 60s. And I want to bring us back to that point. And I hope those of you in Assembly District 75 can see clear to vote for me. Thank you so much. And that was less than 2
All right.
minutes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I had myself muted. Thank you. Appreciate that. Next up is Ashley.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Ashley Bridgewater, and I'm running to be a delegate in Assembly District 76 on the People's Slate. And I come with some of my experience that guides my politics is having been a teacher for the last 15 years, more specifically a music educator. I was trained in Philadelphia and taught my first couple of years there and spent 5 years teaching in Harlem, New York City, serving all kinds of people in my different jobs from different walks of life. I also taught here in North County in Del Mar and most recently in Cardiff. So I've worked with children all over. And so at the center of my politics is people and equity. I'm a huge proponent of Medicare for all, believing that we all should have access to healthcare, the Green New Deal, and forgiving student debt as a stimulus plan. When I came here to San Diego only 4 years ago, I wasn't finding community at first, and Bernie started to run again, and I thought, I'm going to volunteer even harder for him this time. Let's give it everything. So I was organizing an Oceanside canvassing every weekend and organizing those canvases with my friend Brian Hart. And so as I gained community, I strengthened those connections, and here I am. I was called to run on the People's Slate, and I love everybody here that has spoken so far. We're truly in this together, and I'm like Rashida because I cry at the end of all my stuff. So thank you so much. Ashley Bridgewater, 76.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ashley. Liz, you're up. Liz, you are muted. Don't worry, I haven't started your timer yet. Okay, there you go.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm kind of in the middle of my family hour, so might hear some noise, so excuse the noise. Liz Perez, and I'm running for 8076 as a delegate. And I was actually called to action just recently. Some folks locally asked if I could run. And of course I said yes. And you know, what do I need to do? And just a quick snapshot of my background. I'm Native American. I'm from Norfolk Rancheria. I'm Mono Indian. My father, he's originally from Mexico. I'm first generation Mexican American as well. Served 8 years in the Navy, combat veteran. And also when I transferred out of the military, I started a company called GC Green, primarily because of my experience on deployment. And I really got to see firsthand our dependency on oil and going to war over that. And that bothered me. And I lost a friend because of that. I'm gonna move here. And from that, I started a company called GC Green that focuses on clean energy technology and water technology solutions. And that led into also my delegation, twice chosen as a US delegate, as an energy and water expert overseas, and also served as deputy secretary for 2 years as a minority and underrepresented veterans for the state of California. I just transitioned from that role last year, and I ran for city council locally here in Vista. And it was my first time running, and I'm going to still continue to run because there's a lot that needs to be done within our Democratic Party to build coalitions to create a California for all. We absolutely need, I know that's what our governor is saying, but I do not see that. And I saw that while I was in Sacramento. We need healthcare for all, education for all. We need inclusive leadership. And even at the top of the level here in California, that is scary because it's not happening, not yet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Elizabeth Perez, 8076.
Thank you so much, Liz. Appreciate it. And so next up is Corey.
Hello, everybody. My name's Corey Johnson. I live in Huntington Beach. I'd like to represent Assembly District 74. I am an educator. I teach at Fullerton College. I've taught there for 14 years. And I'm also co-chair for my union there. We're AFT 6106. And we are the largest part-time college teachers union in the state of California. So in this last election, especially this last election, was really involved with North Orange County politics. Number one through the OCLF, OC Labor Federation. I'm a delegate for that. And I served as part of the COPE selecting committee for, and just a little bit about that, my being in part of that organization is to really push it left. Working with that group of people, it is, yeah, it's a fine line to walk of coalition building for sure, but then also not really just sitting right in the center to really, when candidates come forward that are progressive, I advocate for them with the Labor Federation. I also want to let you know, I was just appointed by our city council member, I'm in Huntington Beach, by Dan Kalmick for the Citizens Infrastructure Advisory Board. This just happened a couple of days ago. Happy about that, happy to serve. Our mission number one is going to be public broadband. The opposition to this, of course, believes that Spectrum and Frontier are doing a heck of a job, and we disagree. So yeah, so down to local politics, what I'm seeing is, as you all are seeing, is Huntington Beach is becoming a laughingstock. It's becoming, especially the Pier area. My city is gone. My city has been taken over by people who don't believe the results of.
Corey, so sorry to interrupt. That's your 2 minutes. But thank you. I think you gave us a great sense of who you are. Appreciate it. Good. Thank you so much. Next up is Kathy. Hello, Kathy. There you go.
Hello, Dr. Bill. Twice in one day. I don't know how we're going to do this. Hello, all. Kathy Rawlings. I'm running for re-election for AD 76. I was elected in 2018. Prior to that, I actually sit on the Carlsbad School Board, and I'm in my second term. I ran for that seat in 2014. I worked for the California Teachers Association. I've been doing that for approximately 16 years. And prior to that, I worked for the California School Employees Association. So I've been doing public school advocacy for 25 years. I was actually part of the first blue wave in Orange County. Bill will remember that. It was Lorena Gonzalez, Joe Dunn, and Lou Correa way back in the day. So I know I'm dating myself. I was actually very much involved. I met Dr. Bill when we were fighting with Schwarzenegger, trying to get single payer healthcare back in the day as well. So I was very active in the Senate Bill 840 fight, as well as Senate Bill 810 fight, and currently, Senate Bill 562 fight. And currently I'm actually, as an ADEM, I'm pursuing resolutions with the Democratic Party with San Diego. They should be passing it Tuesday. Any of you that have any pull on with the Central Committee on Tuesday, please tell them to vote yes on this resolution. It would call on Governor Newsom to support a waiver for the ACA waivers and expanded waivers for to pursue Medicare for all in California. The other thing I've been working on is returning students safely to school, asking teachers to go into classes with a deadly virus with 6 inches apart from students just because you need a babysitter is not okay. The other thing I'm working on is renewable energy. California is looking at a
Thank
bond
you,
for their
Kathy.
schools, and
Sorry.
all bonds should include sustainable energy. Thank you, Dr. Bill. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kathy. Well, sorry to interrupt, folks. That was your 2 minutes, so appreciate it. Next up is Honey.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bill, for the opportunity. Dr. Bill, you know my ideologies on this, but I'm running because representation in the party matters. Often, I believe communities of color are talked about, but we seldom have the chance to really speak about policies that impact us directly. My name is Hania Jodat Barnes, and I'm the co-founder and president of Muslim Delegates and Allies, a female-led organization which was born from the 2020 DNC convention. As a Bernie Sanders delegate, congressional delegate, I've worked on and co-authored a multitude of healthcare, foreign policy, social justice, climate justice, and gender rights resolutions, some of which have been adopted by the DNC platform. I'm also the co-director of the 50 State Voter Mobilization Initiative. And through a coordinated national effort, my contingent has played a critical role in flipping 3 counties in Florida blue. Muslim Delegates and Allies is currently working with the candidates in Georgia directly, providing 4,000 volunteers, as well as we've hosted about 101 events thus far to make sure that Senate turns blue. Founding member, one of the founding members of Women's March Los Angeles. I'm an author, I'm a mother, more than anything, raising a biracial child here in Orange County, California, in the city of Irvine. And as a former member of the Women's March California and Women's March Los Angeles, I served on a planning committee for Families Belong Together March, March for Our Lives, International Women's Strike, alongside notable activists and an abundance of social justice organizations. I was born and raised in Tehran. I am a child of war. I know what being poor looks like. I know what being homeless looks like, and I know what it takes for our communities to be uplifted and elevated. And that is through progressive values and equity and equality in this country. And I'm here encouraged as a woman of color to shape this Democratic Party to make it look more like me, my son, and my husband. And I'm here advocating for the voices of our vulnerable communities, for communities of color, LGBTQ communities, Black and Brown, Indigenous, and AD 74. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, honey. Lauren, you're up.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Johnson Norris. I'm running for AD 74 E-Board and ADEM. I'm from Irvine, running with the People Slate. I support Medicare for all with mental health parity, the Green New Deal with the new labor-centered economy, preschool through college for all, forgiving student debt, which I have quite a bit of, gender, racial, and economic equity, and getting money out of politics. I currently serve as our AD 74 E-Board member, and I'm really proud to say that over the last year while I was E-Board member, we led the ADEMs to elect a progressive group of DNC members from Orange County and stood in solidarity with our communities of color against police brutality and racism. My day job for the last 17 years has been a social justice attorney right here in Orange County, fighting for criminal justice reform and fighting to reform the foster care industrial complex on behalf of working families and some of the most marginalized Orange County residents. I'm proud to do that work. I'm a former public defender. I've been on the front lines fighting homelessness and poverty for many, many years here, and also served as a city commissioner in Irvine, working to fully fund childcare, tackle adolescent mental health. You may know me, I ran for city council. I knocked on over 18,000 doors with my team, and we helped elect a diverse city majority of Democrats, of progressives, and that's something Democrats should be doing all the time, not just right before the election. That's how we bring people to the party. You know, we've got 17.2% poverty rate in California right now, so it's going to be incumbent on us to tell Sacramento to take care of the people and not big corporations. That's why I'm running to be our E-Board member again with the People Slate. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Lauren. Next up is James.
Hi.
There we go. Hi, James.
Okay, my name is James Bacon, and I'm going to read something about why I want to become your ADEM delegate. I'm 23 years old. I'm a lifetime resident of San Clemente in my district, AD 73. I have not been, however, a lifetime Democrat. I've been won over in the past years and inspired by the rhetoric and, more importantly, the actions of those Democrats on the progressive side of the party who have shown that there is deep injustice and inequity in our society and have taken actions to correct it. I support policies which bring relief and empowerment to marginalized communities and working class people. Healthcare, protecting our environment, protections for LGBTQ people, and racial justice issues are central issues for me. In addition, I believe corporate influence has no place in our politics, and with what just happened in our California propositions, as a former gig worker myself, I used to drive for Uber. I stand for protections for gig workers in our state. As a beneficiary of an excellent public education, up to and including college here, I believe ensuring all Californians have access to the same excellent education that I did. Right now, I'm working for the EDD. I'm processing unemployment claims, and I see the dire effects that COVID is having on our hospitals and is the coming economic crash that's already coming. And I want to make sure we provide relief. And as far as ADEM elections go, I think a central goal of my campaign is to increase participation in the elections. I believe that's possible, especially with the mail-in ballots this year, and make sure we have representative and progressive delegates. And you can find my website at www.baconfor73rd.com if you're interested in learning more or helping me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, James. Next up is Greg. Hey, Greg.
Hi, I'm Greg Pritchell. Hello, fellow progressive Democrats. I'm Greg Pritchell, and I actually have been a delegate to the state party for the past 18 years. Attended every convention during that time, and I've always been a voice for the grassroots. And also, I spent 30 years as a child welfare social worker, so I have a unique kind of firsthand perspective on not only what is going on in our districts and in our kind of our state at large, but in our local communities and actually inside the households. I've seen firsthand the needs of families and, frankly, the woeful inadequacy of resources that we have for people in the state. So that's made me want to be very involved. I've done lobbying in Sacramento and in local legislative offices for over 20 years. And I do try to reach frankly, the less progressive side and explain to them things like why, I talk to legislators trying to explain to them why single payer healthcare is actually makes good business sense. So, and those have been my primary fights too, by the way. I'm, as somebody may be aware, I'm a 5-time candidate for the assembly out of the 55th district. And the primary issues that I have fought for have been for universal health care in California and a green economy. That is a huge issue for me. I'm one of the first owners of a Chevrolet Bolt EV in the United States, and I love driving EVs, and I'm really trying to sell people on that. So these are things that I want to continue to fight for. And I want us to actually, I do want to reverse this top-down control in the party. Clubs should drive the agenda of county central committees. County central committees then should in turn use that to drive the agenda of the state party. Right now we have the opposite. I'm a member of 3 local Democratic clubs, a founding member of one of them. And those are the people who need the voice. They need to be on the agenda of all our meetings. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up is Gloriana.
Hey, good evening, guys. I'm here showing up for 8075. I'm a mama of 3 from Escondido. And the reason why I'm running is because I've been a Democrat for 20 years, but I feel like it's time for me to put my money where my mouth is. I was a volunteer for Bernie Sanders' campaign and ran for delegate in 2016 and 2020. But my ancestors are First Peoples from the Caribbean, Tainos, and just seeing like the hurricanes and the environmental impacts of my island just being tortured, it makes me passionate about like environmental issues. I hate to see people with their medical tags, houselessness in our city, Escondido. And so I am as shy as they come, but I'm ready to put my money where my mouth is and help and be progressive and just do what I can. I think I might have said everything. Is that okay? Am I good?
You're fine. If that's all you'd like to say. then-
Oh, well, yeah, no, I think I'm good. Yeah. Thank you for your
Okay.
time, guys.
Thank you, Gloria. Appreciate it. Next up, Dave Soniborn.
Hi, everybody. Been listening hard, and I'm ranking things here fast. Number one for me that I've marked is the community over corporations, which I've been involved with for eons. I have been the Orange County coordinator and then co-coordinator for California Clean Money Campaign, which is their central issue forever. Number two, I also am very concerned within our district to represent the at-risk or vulnerable needs and wants. We have a lot of work to do to represent our district and the rest of the ADs at the level of the state. Number three, I am a person who has forever, with some difficulty within the district and beyond, tried to get coalitions between the young and not so young, and within the district and beyond, in Orange County, the state. Number four, oh yes, CCE, Green New Deal, of course, and with that in there, and Medicare for all. Number five, and last, oh, I already mentioned that, but I'll mention it separately. Somebody mentioned about the importance of increasing party participation by people that combines with represent the vulnerable needs and wants.
Excellent, Dave.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dave. Anne, you're up.
Me?
Yes, Anne Moore. Hi, Anne.
Thank you for the opportunity for talking. I'm just jumping in, so sorry for not showing my face or my slate here, but I was a Bernie delegate in 2016, and right after that, hot on the heels of that election, I joined the party. I was elected e-board 2017 to 2019. Part of my tenure there was to join up with a group inside the party called Blue Revolution. And the purpose of the group was to democratize the party. We worked on rules changes that would open things up to bottom up. We have a fantastic platform and priorities in the California Democratic Party. And as we all know, it doesn't always play out. We have people like Rendon who just table and throw away Medicare for all bills. I'm the person that's going to fight people like that within our party. It's not about exalting our electeds. It's about holding them accountable to our party's values. So that's what I'm running on, is Democrats should be democratic. Again, thanks for the opportunity. I am running on the Party of the People slate. Hanya is my slate mate, as is Dean, and Lamba, who I don't think is in part of this meeting. So I would appreciate your support in any way, shape, or form. And thank you for the opportunity to talk.
Thank you so much, Anne. So, so that is all the hands that I see raised. And if we could clear the raised hands, and then we can ask for, okay, now I'm seeing Katie and Josie. Are either or both of you running for ADAM?
Yes,
And,
both of us.
okay, and so would you like then 2 minutes to tell us your platform for your campaign? And is it one of you or both of you?
Yeah, both of us.
Okay, so you can have 2 minutes each.
Okay, great.
Good.
So yeah, I guess I can talk first. So my name is Katie Meyer. I am running for e-board in the 78th Assembly District. I've been organizing in the San Diego area since I've been in high school. I am strong in my progressive values. Some of my organizing history includes I worked on a whole bunch of different campaigns. I was Kimberly Ellis's regional director for all of Southern California. So I helped whip votes throughout the LA, Orange County, and San Diego. And I also was the chair of the California Young Democrats Progressive Caucus. And I also worked as the area field director for Bernie Sanders for all of San Diego and Imperial County. So I know how the party works, and I really hope to get elected to bring my strong progressive values to the party. I really think that we need to be pushing strong for Medicare for all, for Green New Deal, for racial justice, for LGBTQ rights, and so many more things. And I really want to be able to support the candidates, and I really hope to have all of your support. So we actually are running on a progressive unity slate, which is a pretty amazing coalition of organizers and activists from throughout the district. So I shared our slate in the chat. So I'll let Josie talk a little bit about herself.
Yes. Hi, I'm
Sure.
Josie Bahia. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, if you could hang on
No, go
just
ahead.
a second and let me reset. We're actually trying to de-emphasize slates and slate mates and endorsements
yeah.
and trying to emphasize policy positions and where would you be on platform and resolutions when challenged on those things as regards, the business of the party and how you would represent the people of your district. So thank you. And so Josie, your turn.
Yes. Hi, I'm Josie Caballero, she, her pronouns. A lot of you maybe have known me. I've run for Congress in the 53rd District. I have worked and organized across the state, as well as working on other ADEMS election back in 2017, where we were really successful, where we were able to really win about 68% of the seats across the state of California. I have been a national Bernie delegate for both of the cycles, so I'm one of the Gold Star delegates. And I'm also running on a very strong platform in the 78th District. I'm also running for e-board because there is no e-board slate. So as far as like individual elections, so we're just trying to get the vote getters. So I'm running on, I'm a veteran. So I'm making sure that we have a very strong representation in veteran issues and representation. I'm also a trans woman, so I don't think there's a lot of strong representation, especially at the e-board level, for trans rights, especially when it comes to healthcare and access to gender-affirming care for trans individuals. I want to make sure that we do push Delane Easton and make sure that she wins as well, so we can actually have strong change in the party. I am going to also try to be on different committees as well with the partnerships and relationships that I've built throughout the state of California for the last 5 years of being a delegate myself. So we're going to make sure that we create inclusivity and make sure that we focus on issues and holding party electeds accountable, because right now I believe that there is not an accountability structure within the Democratic Party that holds our electeds accountable. It seems like the electeds kind of push around the Democratic Party, and it should be the other way around. And I want to make sure that we bring those values to the table to ensure that we bring accountability to those electeds and actually put the power back into the party for the electeds to actually listen to us. So those are the major platforms that I'm going to be running on. And again, Caballero and Katie Meyer.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Josie.
Yeah.
And so next up, I see a hand raised now for Teresa.
This is Marge. I finally got back on the thing. I would like to talk later.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Can
I don't know
you-
what happened.
Can you electronically raise your hand, Marge?
Well, I'm trying to find that part right
So
now.
just go to the participants tab
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then raise hand, and that puts you in the queue. And sorry about that, but
Yeah, it got weird. Who
it's
knows?
that technology.
Yeah,
thing
I know.
just help
Let's
us.
see, do I go to more? Raise hand. Yeah, I usually know how to. I got to get rid of this other
It
thing
should be
down
the
here.
participants tab and
Go
then
to
raise
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it'll have a little arrow up, or just click on that, and then
So
it'll say, yeah.
The arrow.
We will
Ugh.
bring you up next after Teresa, okay?
Okay, no problem. I'll be
Thank
looking
you.
for the arrow all night. Okay.
Thank you, Marge. Teresa,
problem.
are you there?
Yes, I am. Good evening, everyone. Thanks, Dr. Bill.
Thank you.
I'm a lifelong Democrat. I've participated in more campaigns than I can count, starting with phone banking for George McGovern and when he was in the California primary. I am a high school English teacher of 4 decades and currently serving as the president of the Irvine Teachers Association. I am vice chair for the DemOC PAC, vice chair for the Teachers for Local Control, working on the Orange County Board of Ed races. I'm also a member of the Democrats Greater Irvine. I ran for ADEMS in 2019, was not elected, but Representative Katie Porter appointed me. And I found the experience to be very inspiring and exciting, and I really want to do more. I care a lot about kids. I care about their education. I care about their healthcare. I care about the environment. I care about family services. Those are the things that are progressive positions, and focusing on the future and focusing on the children. My own kids are grown adults, but working with kids, I can see that they are the hope we have for the future, and we need to do everything we can to support them in every way. I hope you'll vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Marge.
Okay, here I am. Marge Keeley, and I'm running for the 76th Assembly District. I've been a registered Democrat for 62 years. However, I am also a proud and unapologetic Democratic socialist. So you know where I stand. Yes, I said the word socialism. So here I go. I want to change the leadership of the Democratic Party in California. It is not representative of everyone in this state. To me, it represents cronyism and neoliberalism, and I am against that. I want to be a voice in electing new leadership, Delane Easton, somebody who really understands what's going on in California. I want to represent people's needs. In this time of COVID, we need somebody looking out for seniors for an obvious reason, who don't have a lot of money, who don't sit in their little gated communities, clip their coupons and play golf all day. You know, it's hard enough being homeless, but think of being homeless when you're 78 years old and you don't have anywhere to go. Those are the people that need representation. I have experience, but in many different things. I've walked for everything. I walked my first picket line when I was 9 years old with my activist father. And the last one I walked was last year for Unite Here. Yes, it's over. Vote for me if you want a risk taker.
Well, it wasn't quite over. You still have 20
I had
seconds.
30 minutes. Oh, well.
30 seconds.
Yeah. Vote for the senior socialist.
Well, thank you so much, Marge. We might have saved the best for last there. So you're awesome. That was great. Anyone else, any other candidates who did not get to speak yet that wish to, Dr. Luana raised your hand. Dr. Luana, would you like to go ahead, please?
Okay, hi, I'm sorry from joining late. I had a family commitment that I had to make sure it superseded anything else because my family misses me. I am running for ADEM largely similar to our previous speaker. I would like to be part of making a change. I am a grassroots community person. I spent the last 30 years volunteering for various nonprofit social service and educational organizations in order to try to be part of the solution from outside of the system. I recently completed a run for school board. Didn't get the outcome I wanted, but I did get 175,000 votes. Not bad for a first-time candidate. And I realized that another way that I can help be part of the change that I think most of us want to see is by being part of the leadership of the California Democratic Party. I believe in equity across the board in all things. While running my campaign, I actively engaged in anti-racist education and speaking and platforms. I actively engaged in continuing to support youth through my nonprofits, because even though I had my own personal aspirations, I knew that there were a lot of needs and opportunities that arose that could not be ignored. And for that same reason, I think that I would be a great delegate to the California Democratic Party, because one of the things that I live by is an African proverb or Swahili saying. It's, I am because we are, and because we are, therefore I am. And because I live that way every single day, I know that I will never lose sight of where I came from and why I am wherever I go. Thank you. Oh, and I'll put the link to my site in the chat.
Good, perfect. You still had 10 seconds, so that used it up right there.
All right.
Thank you so much, Dr. Luana. Anyone else, any other candidates who did not have a chance yet? Because that, according to what I have here on Zoom, is everyone who has chosen to speak. I see Dean Nada. Did you want to say anything, Dean? Are you running, and would you like to address the group?
My statements in the chat, it's got links in it which don't really work verbally.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dean. That's Dean Nada. Anyone else? So otherwise, let me just say, if I might, again, taking the prerogative of being the moderator, that this was a terrific experience. I don't know how the rest of you feel, but wow. I mean, I did not expect to be as enthused and, you know, have this kind of, you know, energy generated from hearing you all. And so once again, I want to thank Jenna Beck for organizing this and, you know, not just the PDA chapter, and you know, more kudos for you for doing this from the other side of the country when you got your orders to get on a plane and go to Georgia. You know, thank you for that as well. But what a terrific, what an incredible group of candidates for ADEM. And I'd say from the very first to the very last, you all have inspired me. You know, I just feel like, you know, my soul has been filled tonight. So, so I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody for, you know, for getting into it. And, you know, one thing I would say too, you know, win, lose or draw, your getting involved is what's going to make us win in general, right? So getting in here, talking about the issues, that's what's going to drive the change that we need. Please go to every convention, whether you end up getting elected to the ADEM slot or not. Go to the convention, go to the caucus meetings, go to the standing committee meetings. You don't have to be a delegate to participate in 90% of what goes on at the annual convention. And a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, you have to be a delegate to vote, but you don't have to be a delegate to participate. So, so whether you win that seat or not, you know, I just want you to know how important it was that you ran for it, you know, and that you stay involved. Go to your county committee meetings. You know, as awful as they, I mean, you just sometimes, you know, want to slash your wrist sitting in those meetings. I get that, but it's so important that you're in the room. I guarantee if we're not, if we're not at the table, then we're on the menu, right? So, so it's so important that we're in the room. Anyhow, I could go on and on, but once again, I just want to tell you all how much I appreciate that you're running, that you came here tonight to tell us your vision, and once again, thank you all for being involved. If you don't know about it, I just got a reminder that for Progressive Democrats America PDA, we do have a weekly national healthcare emergency town hall meeting every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which I moderate. These have been pretty fantastic, not because I'm the moderator, but we've had some great guest speakers. And today we had a roundtable discussion on the issues regarding COVID-19 and the really emergency need for Medicare for all. I think that's pretty much everyone who spoke tonight recognizes that, but we could sure use your participation in that discussion. So join us every Sunday if you're available, 1 p.m. for those discussions. If you have any interest to help organize those discussions, if you'd like to give a presentation even on something related to that, COVID-19 and Medicare for all, that's all it has to be about, then contact me, Dr. Bill at pdamerica.org, and we'll get you on the agenda for that town hall meeting. And like I say, they've been pretty fantastic, I think, so far. So it'd be even better if all of you were participating. So by all means, join us every Sunday at 1 o'clock. And otherwise, if anyone's having a Zoom meeting where you'd like somebody like a retired emergency room doctor to Zoom in, and if I can help you with a discussion on healthcare, of course, I'm happy to do that as well. And then otherwise, just once again, thank you, everybody. Was there anything else, any other business that we need to attend to? Jenna, I could turn this back over to you at this point.
Dr. Soniborn wants you to mention something, a protection Zoom, voter protection Zoom.
Voter protection. The Monday voter protection.
Election integrity, right? So PDA has been part of a coalition effort on monitoring not voter fraud, but election fraud, which does go on in this country, and election integrity. And that is a wide coalition every Monday. What is that? I know, Danette, you've been on those calls too. Is it 2 o'clock or 2:30?
It starts, let me check my calendar. It starts at 2, it goes from 2 to 3:30 Pacific time, and it's terrifying.
That's right. That's right. Well, our good friend Andrew Miller at People Demanding Action has given some terrific presentations on voter, suppression and election integrity, and especially in the South, and which of course is still going on, for this Georgia runoff. So yeah, it's pretty terrifying. But we can get that information for you and post it on the Facebook page, right, Jenna, for the chapter,
yeah,
South OC chapter, and on the PDA Orange County chapter as well.
And I also popped in Mike Hirsch's email into the chat. You can email him. He's sending out the Zoom registration links for the Monday calls. So.
Oh, good. Yes, that's Mike Hirsch is communications director for National PDA. Mike Fox, who some of you know, is the volunteer coordinator for PDA National. And if you'd like to make calls from home here in California, can't go to Georgia at this point, we are doing PDA phone banking into Georgia at this point too. So that's another good point for everyone to get involved. You can email Mike Fox.
I'm actually filling in for him for this week. He's out. So I'll put in my email to you. Yeah.
Right. All right.
And then also it looks like Frances has something that she wants to share with us about a activist virtual holiday party. Are you still there, Frances?
I am. Hey, everyone.
Hi, Frances.
Hey,
Good to see you.
Well, yeah, I am now in San Diego, and I've taken up with some organizers, including Josie Caballero, with who is the board co-chair, and I'm now just an organizer with Activist San Diego. And we are doing a holiday virtual party tomorrow night. You're all welcome. I put the chat in there. For anyone in San Diego, we're doing a virtual holiday clothing drive as well to support a group called Sharia's Closet. You can register. I'll put and yeah, we'll have songs, we'll have poetry, we'll have games, and just good community. It'll go from about 7 to 9, maybe a little bit longer, with potentially for that much programming, but then also hangout space, post-party, open chat room for activists and organizers to come together. So hope to see you all there tomorrow night.
Thank you, Frances.
Thank you, Frances. Wonderful to see you again, by the way.
Yeah, you ran against Jimmy Gomez, right, for Congress?
I did. I ran against Jimmy Gomez, came in 3rd in the primary. It was a wonderful, challenging experience. Happy to share anyone who's ever thinking about running. I'm happy to share my tips and tricks or things I've learned, tricks, and connect. One thing I'm really happy to report, I'm seeing so many other former candidates really brainstorming how to make it easier for other candidates. And there's a lot of new advancements in technology and projects and organizing happening. And I'll obviously continue to keep sharing the word. But yeah. Yeah.
I know that's Alan Minsky's congressional district also, and they're definitely missing you not being there.
Well, and I would say that David Kim, who came in 2nd place, was outstanding. He and I have become really close friends since, and I back him 100%. I'm actually, honestly, he had a campaign that I wasn't able to pull together, and I support him 100%, and I hope to see him run again for either that or something else. So.
Well, it's lovely to see you again. I did get to meet you at that PDA meeting in San Francisco. I saw your comments about how much fun the PDA meetups are, and I remember that. That was the lunch where Ro Khanna spoke to us.
It was, yeah, outstanding. And then there was also the post-mortem gathering where everyone came together and discussed their experiences from the weekend. So that was really awesome too.
That's true. That's true.
So glad you brought that up. That's if folks haven't attended the state convention in the past, or those who have maybe know this already. Besides Frances and Jenna, we do a post-mortem. It's a debrief basically. It's a convention debrief, PDA debrief every convention, and it's very spontaneous. We usually commandeer a corner of the convention center or right outside the convention center and just kind of go around the room. Everyone give their impression of what just happened. And, it's usually a pretty fantastic thing, kind of like this meeting was just now on Zoom, so pretty cool stuff.
I realize I should give a shout out. David Kim and Godfrey Plata, who ran for assembly, are both running for ADEMS. And if I had thought about it, I would have made sure they knew about this, and in the future I will connect them to y'all.
Lots of good people around. Yep.
So does just so everybody knows, I'm not going to be able to plan a January meeting, especially with all of us running for ADEMS. We're going to be pretty busy in January, right? So this next chapter meeting is going to be in February. It'll probably be a Black History focused month focused chapter meeting. But before we wrap up, and I am going to wrap it up a little early because it is close to 11 here on the East Coast. It's going to be if we go all the way. Does anybody else want to share upcoming events, actions that are happening within the next month? Just jump in because you're all quiet.
Jenna, this is Kathy Rawlings. I put it in the chat that I would really like to see someone in Orange County carry the resolution to push Gavin Newsom to request those waivers. I don't know. It sounds like you're pretty busy, but if there's somebody, and I don't know when the central committee meetings are and that sort of thing, but I would love to work with somebody to help make that happen.
Okay, so if you're speaking at the county level, we're not going to be doing another central committee meeting, I think, until January. Is that correct, Dr. Bill?
Yep.
So, and it will be the new central committee. So we just sunsetted on this particular election cycle of the current central committee meetings, and the people who got elected on the primary ballot last March are going to be, what do they get sworn in, Dr. Bill? I have no idea like how this.
Yep, we get sworn in. And Kathy, I'm your person. So
okay, I didn't know you were on the central committee. So that's
yeah, that's why I mentioned.
And what a coincidence! You're a co-sponsor. How wonderful is that?
Yeah,
there have been a few modifications, so I'll send you some of the modifications that have been put in. But we do anticipate. It was passed unanimously at the resolutions committee for San Diego. And I believe that it's just going to go on the consent calendar. So I think it's just going to go unanimous, boom. And then once San Diego does it on Tuesday night, my hope is that everybody could brag about San Diego, and then that'll create that ripple effect is what I'm hoping.
Just to add a smidgen to that, we did the same thing actually with Honey, myself, and we did it with a general Medicare for All resolution in the Orange County Central Committee this last term, and also went through without opposition, both in the resolution committee as well as the general body. There were no opposing votes. So I mean, this is these times are definitely changing because people have thought. Well, it's because of the work of everybody in this room. Okay, everybody here has been working so hard, whether you were working with the Bernie Sanders campaign or otherwise in the state coalition. We are changing hearts and minds. People are starting to see that that's the writing on the wall. Medicare for all, writing on the wall. So,
well, it's pretty exciting when Becerra basically, as he's getting, told he's going to get the nod, is saying, yeah, I'll approve waivers for single payer if I get the job. It's like, hey, we got to get our act together to put pressure on Newsom and some other folks to make it happen.
That's right. That's what we're talking about. And the nice part is we don't have to go through Congress to make that happen. It's already in the Affordable Care Act. So we just have to get it through the Department of Health and Human Services, which is Becerra, or will be Becerra.
We have to make sure Gavin, wasn't just talking, wasn't just talking. We need him to start walking the walk.
That's right.
I have a thing to bring up. Well, to this group, and I'm trying to get it done with others. You, Dr. Bill, and others have at times come in very strongly for the Poor People's Campaign and Dr. William Barber. And we have a very good, it's not large, but we have a very, what do I say, enthusiastic Orange County chapter of the Poor People's Campaign. And they are in touch with the state, with LA, with national. And so I'm trying uh, to get, while we're in the middle of all this stuff, it's an important thing to keep in the public eye. And it does feed into some things that people have mentioned, particularly about representing the vulnerable needs and wants and civil rights values. So we do need, you know, as you know, Dr. William Barber is really trying to work with all kinds of groups, including what we're doing here, but in the South. And it's what he's been concentrating on, how the Poor People's Campaign really needs to get the right people elected, particularly in Georgia right now. So I just hope we can maintain some attention for that. Jenna, are you seeing these people when you're down in Georgia?
I'm sorry, I was trying to catch up on the chat. I got a little lost. I apologize.
I'm talking about Dr. William Barber and the Poor People's Campaign. Are you running into them at all?
I have not, because I'm actually, so we are coordinating basically with Stacey Abrams' group.
Yes.
And so we've been sent out to specific turf that would be receptive to union people coming in from out of state, because, you know, Georgia is a bit finicky about things, right? So I'm in a very suburban neighborhood that it's very racially mixed. It's mostly Black. I love it. They live in huge houses and have huge properties. And it's a lovely neighborhood. But no, I haven't run into the Poor People's Campaign because the area I'm in is not poor. I'm just being real with you. It is definitely not poor.
Have you run into the two Democratic Senate candidates, plus this great that you've listened to, I'm sure, and everybody else, the guy for, what is the office in the public service area, this very articulate guy that the election integrity people a group has had him on several times. And it's a board, it's a board in a surrounding area to Atlanta. Dr. Bill, you probably know the name, or Danette. He's been speaking each time, is very articulate, not polemical, and he's going to be on Biden's Zoom call as the first person, along with our Democratic Senate candidates. Whenever the next meeting is within a week, I don't remember exactly which day. Danette, are you up on that?
And sorry, Dave, not sure.
I don't think so. I might know a little enough to be dangerous, but probably not enough to give an educated answer on that one.
Well, I did drop in the chat, Dave. We're working closely with the NAACP and now chapters of Atlanta to do our canvassing. They're saying that a lot of the money and other resources people are donating to the campaigns is going to, TV buys and, other kind of mailers and signs and that kind of thing, where they think those organizations think that GOTV is much more effective with direct canvassing to neighborhoods. So like the work that Jenna's doing with Unite Here, we're hoping that NAACP and NOW are also, doing that kind of work specifically. And we do have folks in the greater Atlanta area, especially in Georgia, that I think, Dave, you probably know Reverend Dix, Terrence Dix, and there's former state senator Vincent Ford from, I think he's also Atlanta area.
Yeah.
So we're working closely with our contacts there as well. So,
there's two different NAACP groups going, and there's some difficulty in getting him to be one coalition in the Atlanta area. There's the NAACP Atlanta chapter, and there's the NAACP Empowerment group. And those are two different groups. And so, like, I'm donating to both. But in terms of, getting things going, we really need to act fast.
I just wanted to say, David, I popped in the chat a bunch of links for the dialers. So choose your poison and do whichever one you want. Stacey Abrams, I heard, is pretty good. The first one that's listed on there. I know you had trouble with Sierra Club, but try a couple of the other ones if one doesn't work for you.
I'm already done with that. I've got something going every day, and sometimes at different times of day for the same day. So I'm in all those groups. Thank you.
Dr. Bill, may I also make an announcement, please, pertaining to, so Muslim Delegates and Allies has also launched its first multilingual postcard writing event for those of you that are interested in writing in different languages. If you know Spanish, if you know Vietnamese, Korean, Mandarin, and Urdu, we would love to have you participate in our event. We have a gentleman that is donating over 8,000 stamps as an in-kind donation to the campaign. But from what I understand, both campaigns are sharing resources. So if you write one message, you kind of share that with, for example, we're working with the Ossoff campaign directly, but their language ultimately covers Reverend Warnock as well. So it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. So I can put the mobilized event here in the chat.
Thank you. Okay, so we're losing people. So I'm guessing that we're coming to the end of the meeting at this point. I want to thank everybody for participating. You all did fantastic. I know that whatever happens, win or lose, we're going to have great representation. So let's go out and, change the world, really. And good luck to everybody in your ADEM elections next month. And I hope that you will join us again in February for our next chapter meeting. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Jenna. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Bill, so much for hosting.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
Yes,
you.
Dr. Bill, as usual.
Everyone,
Fantastic.
stay safe, stay healthy,
Stay indoors.
corona free.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.